They're lifting Bourne up there on that stretcher. Hard to say which leg it is. Langevin hits it off the boards. Bob Bourne lets it drive. Go score! Bob Bourne. He gives it into the near back to the foot. The Montreal Canadiens have won the Stanley Cup.
We begin with Nystrom. Tonelli to Nystrom. He scores!
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
Time once again to go back into the archives. Welcome to Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we take a look back to April 29th of 1980, Game 1 of the semifinal matchup between the New York Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres. The Islanders had just won their quarterfinal series with Boston in 5, while the Sabres had swept the Chicago Blackhawks. Scotty Bowman's first year in Buffalo saw the veteran coach put his stamp on the team by breaking up the French connection line, trading René Robert to Colorado. On the other bench, Al Arbour was putting his stamp on his team, and the Islanders were looking for another playoff win on the road in Game 1.
The officials for tonight's hockey game coming to center ice now. The referee is Dave Newell, and the linesmen, there they are, Ray Scapanello and Gerard Gauthier. The goaltenders tonight, and these gentlemen are naturally very important. Billy Smith there, his goals against 2.20, 7-1 in this year's playoffs. And at the other end, Don Edwards of the Buffalo Sabres, 1.75, and they tell us, Gary, that he has been very hot, just like Billy Smith of late.
Well, when you get right down to it, I think it's going to be decided in what both teams are able to do, stopping the others in their own zone.
Coming to center for the New York Islanders, Trottier with Bourne and Nystrom on the wings, and there's Gilbert Perreault with Martin and Sealing to his right and left. Van Boxmeer, Schoenfeld on the defense for Buffalo, Lorimer and Potvin for the New York Islanders. Sealing tipped it into the zone. And here's Trottier. He just cleared it out into the center ice area. Buffalo trying to go onto the attack immediately, but they're been checked at center. Schoenfeld moved it across the line. Hero shot. And that hard shot whistled just wide on the left side of Billy Smith. Morrow, and with that great burst of speed, and can he ever shoot it when he's given the opportunity like you just saw? There's Martin going after it, but he is stopped by Lorimer. They get a whistle as they hold it on the boards in the New York zone.
Smoking in this.
Just 37 seconds gone, Gary, and already Gilbert Perreault has shown us that he can walk into them, and when he's given that opportunity, look out.
Well, Al Arbour, he knows perfectly well that the Canadians or the Sabres' strengths are their skating. And that's something that he will have to stop, get in front of those guys, slow them down, especially not giving up that blue line.
There's the face-off in the zone, and Perreault to Martin. Martin couldn't get loose for a shot. He tried to move in. Now Potvin races down to center for New York to Trottier. Trottier put it over in front. He was spun around. It comes back over the line. Gare tried to come up with it. Here's Perreault coming in again, but it's Nystrom. He lost it at center to Martin. He gets it back again. Now here's Potvin coming up across center. The long shot, first shot on goal. And Edwards blocked it. Just turned it off to the right side. Back of the net, Schoenfeld for Buffalo. He's fighting for possession. It cuts right in front of the net. And Don Edwards went down to make a big save. He got his arm out and made that save on the open side. Don Edwards, Gary, coming up big in the first minute and 20 seconds of this first period. What a big save he made just seconds ago. Now the Islanders come to center with Merrick. Tonelli parked to his right. Face off deep in the zone, and he got the draw, but right away it's back of the net. Height went after it in the corner for Buffalo, trying to move it out with the help of Luce. Don Luce flipped it back of the net, and that's Dudley over there. He was bumped. Merrick on the line, kept it in for New York. Richie Dunn going back of the net for the Buffalo Sabres up along the left wing boards. He can't move it out. The Islanders forechecking. Now it comes into the center ice area. for New York. Up on that left side, it just goes across center. Height knocked it down, but now here they come again. Tonelli off in a bad angle. It went by everybody in front of the net. And Bossy's quick shot, that was stopped by Edwards. The Sabres get it finally to center, and Ramsey gets away. Craig Ramsey coming in, but offside was loose as he hit the blue line. Just 2:05 gone in this first period. There is no score. Gary, news out of Toronto today says that the proposed Canada Cup Series for this September is probably off. Well, we talked to Alan Eagleson this afternoon, and he says that the series certainly is in jeopardy. Apparently, the owners and players of the National League have said they do not favor participating in a series with the Soviet Union at this time. However, Hockey Canada had made a commitment that this country would compete. Eagleson has called a press conference for noon tomorrow in Toronto. And at that time, no doubt, he'll let us know all the facts. Coming up to the 3rd minute of play in this first period. And there is no score. Langevin trying to move it out. He's forced back of the net. On this side, Persson tries to move it. It comes to the line. Goring's pass down to Gillies. Gillies was stopped just inside the line by Playfair of Buffalo. Now that's Playfair back in his own zone. Number 27 circles in front of the net, gets away from Goring. It goes down inside the Islanders line, and Persson hits Goring with the pass. Sutter's offside just across center ice. No score, and 2 minutes and 40 seconds gone into this first period.
Well, the interesting point as we look at Derek Smith, one of the finer forwards of the Sabres, is the line matchups. Scotty Bowman, of course, wanted to contain Trottier and Bossy, but Al Arbour moved a step to try to prevent that by separating those two guys and placing on different lines. But the first matchup, he had Lucien Ramsey out there against Bossy, trying to contain that gifted goal scorer.
So Smith of Buffalo with the draw. It goes back of the net. And Gordy Lane, number 24 for New York. The long pass too far for Gillies. It goes down the ice, and icing is called against the New York Islanders. Nearing the 3-minute mark of this opening period, there is no score.
There you notice the goal stick of Billy Smith completely in black. Whether that helps him in any way, of course, he has been a tower of strength ever since getting into the first playoff round where he took over from Chico Resch.
7-1 in this playoff series. Butch Goring comes to center ice against Smith of Buffalo. Scampanello, the linesman, wants them back outside the big circle. It comes right back to Gary. Can't shoot it. He's tied up and knocked down. And back for New York. Up to center. Morrow, a long shot. Edwards stopped that. Back of the net. Ramsey out on the left side. A good play down to center. And here's Smith racing in. Here's McKendry with him. The pass in front of the net. And Billy Smith tipped it away with his stick. But now again, Smith centered it. Right there is Sutter. Up for New York to center is Gillies. The long shot, gloved by Edwards. He dropped it back of the net. Into the corner is Mike Ramsey. The three Sabres break out of the zone. Coming to center is Smith. The long shot put right on. Buffalo changing as the play goes on. 3.5 minutes gone in the first period. Still no score in the game. First game of the semifinal series. Buffalo and the New York Islanders. And what a series this should be. Here's Van Boxmeer. Back of the net. It goes to Schoenfeld. Up to Martin, and he was stopped. Lorimer of New York from center. Couldn't move it. Martin was bumped. Merrick can't catch up to it. And Potvin calmly takes it back of the net for Nystrom. Martin bumping with him. They're hitting hard now in the corners. Trottier lost it. It comes right in front of the net. And breaking out of the zone is Lorimer. He got to center ice. Knifes it into the Buffalo zone. In back of the net. Edwards out of the goal, cleared it. Here's Potvin's shot. That's blocked up the defense. Schoenfeld got in front. Now Trottier closing in. It's kicked away from the goal crease. Nystrom keeping it in. Great pressure now by the Islanders. And Buffalo Sabres forced to shoot it to center ice. They bounce it right back in. And Boxmeer trying to skate away. Hitting the line. Good speed to center. Great shot. Hit the goal post. It came off the goal post. And Boxmeer really walked into it. Nearly scored, but there is still no score in this first period as Nystrom comes across center. He's bumped by Schoenfeld, who fell. On the other side, it's whipped away from Tonelli. Goes down the ice. He couldn't stop it. And it's icing called against Buffalo. This is Stanley Cup 80 from the Auditorium in Buffalo. What a great save by Billy Smith that just whistled by and then hit the post.
Well, here's a good something that Van Boxmeer does so well, even from far out. There you see the tremendous camera work there and Billy Smith covering up, but it seemed to me that that puck dipped at the last second and Smith had a little trouble with it.
Just got a piece of it, barely, and then it, as you saw, hit the post. Close call. Still no score though. Bob Cole along with Gary Dornhofer at the Auditorium in Buffalo as the Sabres get to center and Dudley goes in. Dudley was bumped and taking over as Persson going back to the net. He flipped it into the corner. It's cleared out by Tonelli. Kept in at the line. Merrick couldn't move it. He had a second chance and Dudley comes racing in. Scores! Well, they couldn't clear it. Dudley picked it up. And he got the far corner, and it's 1-0 Buffalo Sabres.
Well, good work at the blue line, keeping that puck in. There you see it. What a good job that Ramsey does, holding the man off. And there's a snapshot. Two players converge on Dudley, but he fires it by in the far corner. But there it is, right at the blue line. Look at Ramsey, though. Just keeps that player from moving in on Dudley. And the puck goes right through the legs of Billy Smith. We saw it on the second replay.
Back to the live action, and it comes right back to the line. Persson of New York. There's going to be a penalty. First one called of the game against Buffalo. Here it is. The scoring play, 5:23. Dudley from Craig Ramsey, and the penalty coming up.
There you saw it right in front of Donnie Edwards. Bill Height. He got the holding call, and now you're going to see a devastating power play since the return of Dennis Potvin. And they need this guy to get them going. They were struggling. As soon as Potvin got back in the lineup, he has carried that club.
Bossy is on the left side with Goring and Gillies. Potvin. And that's Persson back to the net. That's the power play. Lineup for the New York Islanders. It's 1-0 Buffalo. Can't get out of the zone first. It's stopped by Mongrain. There it is again. The shot. Whoa! Billy Smith had to be careful with that one. The leg save. Potvin back of the net. Great penalty killing by Bob Mongrain. He's number 25 out there with Sealing for Buffalo. They break it up again. And the Islanders can't seem to get it going. A minute and 23 seconds left in the penalty to Bill Height. Now Bossy dropping it back for Potvin. Potvin shoots it in, back of the net. It comes off the boards to Gillies. Gillies trying to get it back to the line. Potvin standing there. The long pass is stopped by Richie Dunn. Up to Ramsey. He tried to break in. He was knocked down. He goes right on. He's back up on his skates. Ramsey bumped along the boards by Big Gillies. And now Bossy in front of the net. 55 seconds left in the penalty. Out to center. This is Potvin. In on the wing goes Bossy. Bossy trying to break right in. Centered it. And Goring has it off to the corner. That's puts Goring back to the net. Everybody lining up on this power play. They can't get a shot on the net though. Here comes back to the line and out over. Potvin couldn't keep it in. 29 seconds left in the penalty. Bossy is knocked flat by Don Luce. Ramsey and Luce doing a great job killing this penalty. 20 seconds remaining in Height's penalty. 1-0. Buffalo leading. They nearly break in, but now Persson comes back. On the left side it goes. Trottier forced into the corner. With 10 seconds left in the penalty, Nystrom gets it back to the line. Persson winds up. Will he shoot it? No. Potvin from this side. Couldn't control it. He centered it right to the goal crease. It's in the net, but the whistle had gone. The referee, Dave Buell, waves it off. The Islanders naturally are in, arguing that that puck was across the line. We'll get a good look at it for you right here.
Well, Potvin makes a smart play. You notice the wrist shot. All he wants to do is hit that net. Actually, a Sabre player deflected it. Right at that position, Dave Newell lost sight of the puck. Right away, he has to call it. Trottier kept jamming. He put it in the net, but the whistle had gone.
And the penalty is over.
After the whistle was blown.
That's right. The official announcement made. The puck entered the net after the whistle had sounded. And as Gary Dornhofer pointed out, Dave Newell, when he lost sight of the puck, supposedly underneath Don Edwards, he has naturally got to call the play, and that's just what he did. Nearing the 8-minute mark of the first period, 1-0 Buffalo. The goal by Dudley. 5:23. Playfair moved it across the line. Perreault was a good 10 feet offside. Okay, and here it's 1-0 Buffalo over New York. There's Martin back of the net with Sealing. Martin is bumped along the boards. It goes to Bourne. Bourne coming out for New York with Nystrom shooting from center ice, stopped by Edwards. Edwards flipped it into the corner. That could be dangerous. Morrow coming in from the line, stopping it. Martin, though, had him covered, and there's no further play. They're nearing the 9-minute mark of this first period, 1-0 Buffalo.
Well, Rick Sealing certainly gives the Sabres a dimension out there where they have another strong centerman down the middle. You look at the Sabres down the middle. Derek Smith, Perreault, loose. Once you have that strength there, that's the nucleus to build a team around.
Okay, Gary, Sean fell for Van Boxmeer up to center ice, and Perreault just backhands it into the New York zone. Comes in with Martin. Martin trying to slide it in front. Here's Perreault looking for it. Back to the line, Van Boxmeer. And Martin. Oh, and a great save by Billy Smith. Can you believe that one, Gary? He came across the crease and made a second big save. Stanley Cup 80 will continue in a moment.
And now the power play for the Sabres. 5 minutes. You can't come on the ice if there's a goal scored, so they have to kill off the whole 5 minutes.
Gordy Lane, who drew 205 minutes in penalties during the regular season, is off at a major. A sparing penalty against Lane. At 8:39 of this first period. And it's 1-0 Buffalo, and they have this power play on now. That's Richie Dunn, number 3, back of the net. Into the corner goes Danny Gare on the right side. And it's Dunn bringing it out with Smith coming to the line. Smith's pass going astray at center, broken up by Potvin, and he just pushes it back. The Sabres taking their time now. 30 seconds gone in the major penalty. 1-0 Buffalo, and they're on the move now. Here's Dunn starting out. He nearly got poke checked by Bourne up the blue line. That was a close call. Perreault to Dudley up across center, going in with Perreault. Dudley to Perreault, going right in. Oh! He had the goaltender Smith sprawling and then couldn't find it. Smith losing his stick in the process. Up the big shifts by Gilbert Perreault. He'll make you dance once or twice.
Well, that's how he becomes so very dangerous. Once he gives the puck up, he gets back in the play, and you saw the pass Dudley made to him, and he was home free.
Once again, there's Perreault, but this time Goring has him taped. Dunn trying to clear it in. He did, but Potvin will shoot it off the boards to the line. It's called for a face-off in the center ice area. The Sabres thought maybe the puck did not come out. It's called offside.
Well, look at Dudley make the little the pass through the middle. Perreault, which he does so well, gets in the clear. Oh, Smith. Actually, he didn't even touch part of the stick or the skate of Perreault in that play. Perreault simply lost the puck off the end of his stick, or he would have had a sure goal.
Well, it's 1-0 now. Buffalo on top on the Dudley goal. Back at 5:23. 3:45 left in the major penalty to Gordy Lane of New York. He's off for spearing. And the puck is in the New York zone. Back of the net. Langevin trying to clear it out. Can't. On the boards. Back of the net again. This is Ramsey. Ramsey was stopped. Hit the side of the net, and Billy Smith just hangs on to it. They're doing a pretty good job killing this penalty so far, Gary. 3:27 left in the penalty now. 9:48 in the period. They're talking about this rink. I've heard players, officials, they've all talked about this rink here in Buffalo being short and small in the corners. What are they talking about?
Well, they're a little tighter in the corners. You don't really have that much room to manipulate if you get some guys in the corner. Actually, it's 4 feet shorter than most of the rinks. It's only 196 feet long. The others are 200. But that area is right in the center ice zone. You know, what a great opportunity for the Sabres here. They already are leading by 1, but they could really pad that lead, which could be very instrumental in this first game. And this is a time when they got to give a little extra.
Oh, boy, have they ever. 1-0 now as they clear it down the ice, and Buffalo have to come back. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left in the major penalty. Buffalo having all kinds of trouble organizing on this power play. They seem to be relaxed, as if it'll happen itself. Well, there's Ramsey going in back of the net to the right side, but Van Boxmeer comes this way for Perreault. Up to center on the wing. It's cleared in. Too far for Schoenfeld, and it's called. And they'll bring it back to the Buffalo zone. Back live in Buffalo at the Auditorium, where the Sabres have jumped on top of the New York Islanders 1-0, just past the halfway mark of this first period. Bob Cole along with Gary Dornhofer in this first game of the semifinals. And we'll be bringing you all the action as it develops in Philadelphia. Here's Perreault. Pass jumped away. Dudley has it now. Dudley circles back in front of his own net. 2.5 minutes left in the major penalty to Gordy Lane of New York. Here's Perreault, ever dangerous. The shot fired right on, and Billy Smith stopped it. Into the corner, Lorimer trying to move it out. Henning helping him, but the Sabres have it. There's a pass by Perreault, and that's taken away by Henning, and he shoots it down the ice, and now 2:10 remaining in the major penalty. So the Islanders have done a great job against Buffalo's firepower while they had the man advantage. They still have it for another 2 minutes as Dunn shoots it in. Here's McKendry coming and looking for it. He's bumped right away by Lorimer. And into the corner goes Henning. He couldn't move it out. The Sabres keep it. Dunn gets a shot, and that's deflected up high. Going after it again. The Sabres. Smith just kicked it in. Comes right back to nobody on this side. And it'll be cleared away by Trottier. 1:30 left. Here's Trottier going in. Couldn't get a shot by Gare. Back for it is Craig Ramsey. Back of the net he goes, dropping it there. Now the Sabres, led by Smith, to the line at center. Smith on the boards. It's in back of the net into the corner. Gare going in after it. Trottier watching him. Again, Ramsey gets a chance to make a play. Ramsey all the way back to the line. Schoenfeld shot. It's tipped away from the goal and cleared down to Trottier. He couldn't control it. And now 1 minute left in the penalty. Back for Schoenfeld as the Islanders are changing. Schoenfeld dropped it. McKendry along the blue line gets it handed back to him. McKendry tried to drive for the net, and he was stopped by Langevin in the corner. Again, it comes back in front, another drive, and Billy Smith kicked out his leg and made a great save. Sealing, another chance. Back for Schoenfeld. Orsini, he lost it, a break for Bourne. He's all alone, Sealing trying to catch him. Scores! Bourne breaking away, and I'll tell you, Gary Dornhofer, this is a tremendous turn of events. 30 seconds left in that penalty, and Bourne gets a short-handed goal. It's all tied.
Well, you notice it happened way at the other end where only one defenseman was back, and it wasn't even a defenseman, it was a forward. But look at the shift Bourne makes with his speed. The right-hand point man, look at that. Nobody else covering up.
Bob Bourne.
Schoenfeld was the man that was back there, but nobody on the right point. And Bobby Bourne, his 6th playoff goal.
9.
That's an unassisted goal for Bob Bourne, and a big play in this game.
13:09, the time of the goal. 23 seconds left in the major penalty. Tulane of the New York Islanders, the Sabres. Ramsey, a shot, and that's off the shoulder. It comes right back in front, and Sealing just couldn't make contact properly for a shot. They're trying to get a whistle in the corner. Sealing went in after it and poked it loose. Back of the net for Martin. It comes back to the blue line. Van Boxmeer's shot right on the goal post. I can't believe it. That's twice tonight that Van Boxmeer's had a shot go off the post. Live from the Auditorium in Buffalo, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Okay, Dave, 6:18 remaining in this first period. The score is tied at 1. And the Islanders have killed a major penalty, and for a little insurance, they've scored a goal. Short-handed goal by Bourne. Score tied at 1. There's Goring going after it in his own zone. Van Boxmeer keeping it in, but a little too high. Went over the glass into the crowd. Van Boxmeer now has had 2 posts in this first period.
Well, he certainly has the ability to shoot that puck so hard. But, you know, killing off that penalty gives the Islanders such a big lift. And not only killing it off, but also scoring a goal. And, you know, on that power play, only one man was back on the point. That was Schoenfeld. And he lost the puck, and that resulted in the breakaway. Smith tried to catch up. Bourne showed tremendous balance there to hang on to that puck even though he was checked from behind. There you saw the shift. Unassisted goal.
And now only 6 minutes and 2 seconds away from the end of the first period. It's been rather tight checking, though. They've been breaking out in spots, but they're trying to be very careful of one another. They respect each other.
Absolutely. Also, Bob, you notice anytime a guy goes in and leaves his point man, it's up to somebody else to pick up that spot. The Sabres failed to do this, and it resulted in having a goal scored against them.
Well, Sealing made a great effort to get back, but just could not catch Bourne. Ready to drop it in. There it is. And it comes all the way back into the Buffalo zone. Dunn from center. He had a leg with it. Height then fed it into the zone, and Smith is back of the net stopping it. It's cleared by Potvin up along the boards, but the Sabres are forechecking. Height slides one through the crease. It comes over on this side, and Bossy, a long pass down to the left wing, and Tonelli breaking in, dropping it back. And Merrick was tied up, but it comes to the side of the net. And Edwards taking no chances. He falls on it right away. Put his glove down. They have a few words, Potvin and Dunn, but nothing develops.
Well, that's a big job for the Buffalo Sabres. Watching Mike Bossy, we all know he can score goals, and you just can't leave a guy like that laying around that slot area. So somebody that is one of the best checkers in the league, in Ramsey, he's got his work cut out for him, and I know that's all he's thinking is, where is Mike Bossy, and just stay on him every chance that he gets.
51 goals during the regular season.
He's accustomed to doing that.
Oh, brother. No problem. 50 goals or more. Bossy has always been very sharp around the net. Let's see what happens on this play. Tonelli falls, can't set it up. Bossy handed in the slot, waiting for a possible pass out. The score is tied at 1 with 5:20 left to play. In this first period, a long pass too far for Loose. Down the ice, this will be icing again as Morrow is back to touch it. That's Morrow, Ken Morrow. And what a great find he has been for this New York Islanders team. Gold medal winner, as you see, for the United States at Lake Placid. But that's all in the past now. He's looking for silver now, the silver of the Stanley Cup. And you never know. What a year that would be. Well, then on the other side, you have Mike Ramsey.
That's ironic that they both play against each other now after being teammates.
5:13 remaining in the first period. They each have scored a goal. Buffalo first, and then the Islanders. But the Islanders had a real sting to it. They scored while shorthanded, killing off a major penalty to Gordy Lane. And Bourne broke away. It's over the glass into the crowd. That stung the fans, too, here in the auditorium. You can see them sit back a little bit now. They were roaring for a while.
They have suddenly become very quiet. I like that Goring, though. You know, a lot of teams used to key on Trottier's line. Now with Goring at that center ice position, that gives them another line with Gillies and Sutter that can certainly score some goals.
Gary, since he came from L.A., the Islanders have an impressive 15-2-4 record. That's not bad. So he's a big cog in this machine for the New York Islanders, no question. There's Gordy Lane back of the net. Lane on the boards, up on the right wing, and Sutter's long pass for Gillies. He had to stop to wait for it, and then he backhands it into the Buffalo zone. Sutter couldn't come up with it. Goring tried to keep it in and did. But now, here's Mike Ramsey feeding it ahead for McKendry. That's too far. 4.5 minutes left in the opening period as Ramsey feeds it into the New York zone. Back there is Lane again, and he played it off the boards down the ice. Coming back for it is Playfair. Playfair back of the net for Buffalo. 4:20 left to play. In this first period, McKendry gets away, a two-man break. Now he's going in with Smith and Ramsey. Ramsey shoots, a great save. Rebound, there it is. Comes right back, another shot off the crossbar. They finally put it in. Wait a minute. Dave Newell, the referee, is right there, and I believe he pointed to the big circle to the right. The red light did not go on, but the Sabres have incredible luck in this first period. Cross.
Zipper Kingo.
Put on a spot for a second, but they're used to it. Lorimer flipped it back of the net, and Bourne couldn't move it out. Van Boxmeer, another shot, kicked out by Billy Smith. It comes to Nystrom. Nystrom's pass across his own line. Here's Bourne. He flipped it into the Buffalo zone, wide of the net. Trottier tries to center it, stopped by Edwards. And now Martin looking for some skating room. Couldn't find it against Howatt. Lorimer for Nystrom. 2 head fakes. He nearly broke through, but Schoenfeld picked them up and cleared it back into the center ice area. Now the Islanders are offside, and it's called with 3:29 left in the opening period, and the score tied at 1.
You know, that was a great rush that the Sabres had there, a 3-on-1, and I believe it ended up with another crossbar hit there, Bob, and so that's 2 goalposts and a crossbar. You know, each team will get a lot of scoring chances, or some scoring chances, but the Sabres, they have to start capitalizing on some of their real good ones, and they've had excellent chances.
Big breaks in this game so far have gone to the Islanders. Schoenfeld from center, lifting a high one into the corner. Potvin takes over, a pass, hit a skate in front, and Martin fell before he could find it. Trottier just didn't see it. He hit a skate. Lorimer for Trottier. He's covered immediately. Hero dropped it at the line. No one there but Lorimer of New York. And he shoots it into the Buffalo zone with 3 minutes left in the period. Long pass in on the right side, goes sliding down the ice. And Potvin is taking his time, lumbering back for it. That'll give the Sabres more opportunity as they were changing. With a play moving to the line, they keep it in. Loose, a pass to Ramsey, back to Loose. Backhand shot stopped by Smith. And he takes no chances and cradles it outside the goalpost against the mesh. 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the first period. It's 1-1. Dudley scored at 5:23 for Buffalo, and then Bob Bourne got a break while his team was shorthanded and killing a major penalty to Gordy Lane, and he went in all alone to beat Don Edwards, and he tied it. Face off to the left, it goes into the corner. Dudley went in quickly, pinned his man on the boards, and there's no further play, so they're checking closely now. Weeding out the final minutes of this first period. 2:38 left. There's Merrick. Wayne Merrick. He's been around, and he's been a big help to the New York Islanders. What they call a journeyman. No great star, but he'll put in a good night's work for you just about each and every night. Langevin going back in his own zone on the boards. It hit a leg and goes down the ice. It hit Height, who goes back for it now. And he picks it up, fed it right in front of Bossy, scores! You cannot do that. A bad play by Height of Buffalo. Bill Height came back, circled. I don't know what he was thinking about, Gary. Passed it in front, and who did he pick? Mike Bossy.
Well, we talk about the mistakes made in that zone. By golly, anytime you throw it across the ice, you better make sure that one of your men has it. Of course, Bossy, something that he does better than anybody else when he gets an opportunity. Watch out, and he makes no mistake and pumps it home. We're going to have another look at it. There it is, right up the middle, and oh boy. Bossy just
scored by number 22.
Picks a corner, and away it goes. That's another unassisted goal.
17:42 the time. Mike Bossy unassisted, and oh my. The New York Islanders get 2 big jumps inside the line, and especially on that one, you send Bossy in alone, Gary, and he is not likely to make a mistake. Now the Islanders leading 2-1. Tonelli played it into the Buffalo zone. And it comes off the boards to Don Luce, out to center with Dudley trailing. So is Ramsey. Luce going into the corner, centered it by in front of Billy Smith. A shot by Dunn right in front, and they missed the far side again. Luce got it off the boards, and he hurried the shot and went by everything. It's cleared back in front of the Islanders, cover up, and Persson lugs it up to center ice with a minute and a half left in the period. Bossy sidestepping a check thrown by Dunn. Couldn't pick it up, though. The Sabres move it out to the center ice area. Morrow nearly gave it away to Dunn loose. Now Gordy Lane. A long shot into the corner to the left of Don Edwards. Dunn going back against Big Gillies. Gillies ran into him. It goes loose to Sutter. Back to the line. Here's a shot by Lane, and that's blocked, and the Sabres get away. McKendry is trailing Gare, but Gare took the shot away wide with 1 minute left of the period. They knock it into the corner. It comes loose for Gare. Gordy Lane went after him. They're trying to get a whistle. McKendry going in, still fighting for it, and it's still loose. Now Goring put his skate down on it, and they get a whistle. Finally, play is called, and a face-off in the New York zone in the very first period. And here it's 2-1 the New York Islanders over the Sabres with 46 seconds remaining. Smith for Buffalo with the draw, but Morrow was there to hop it up against his defense mate. It comes loose back in front. It's cleared off the boards, but not out. Kept in by Mike Ramsey. McKendry centering it to Gare. Gare getting set. He waited too long and then couldn't shoot it. 30 seconds left in the period. Great chances by Buffalo, but they're unable to solve it in front. All their problems. Trottier lost it. McKendry comes back out with Gare. Winding up for the shot. It hit Lane. Comes back to him. And the weak shot. Billy Smith tipped it away. Trottier scooped it back of the net with 10 seconds left in the period. It's cleared out along the boards on the left side and then dropped right back to Lane. Lane, with 2 seconds left, will kill the clock to Goring. And there's the horn ending the first period with the Buffalo Sabres jumping out to a 1-0 lead, but then a shorthanded goal by Bourne and then a big break. Bossy picked up an errant pass right in front of the net, and he went in alone. And so the score at the end of the first period, the New York Islanders 2 and the Buffalo Sabres 1. And here, it's the Islanders on top of the Buffalo Sabres 2-1. The teams at full strength as we start the second period. It's underway. Van Boxmeer coming to center, a long shot, hit Potvin, bounced wide. Martin didn't find it. Perreault did. To Martin back of the net, and he was smashed along the boards right away and couldn't make a play. It's loose for a moment, comes to the goal crease, then is cleared to Bob Bourne. His long pass up high and down the ice into the Buffalo zone. That's Schoenfeld around the net. Nystrom all over him. Trottier going in. He's stopped by Van Boxmeer, and they get a whistle for the face-off to the right of the Buffalo net.
Well, Bob Nystrom got to play with Trottier just to separate that line combination. He's played the last 3 games with him, and you know, he's the type of player that you really want on your hockey club. Just watch him take men out along those boards. Trottier, of course, is the type of player that very consistent, goals and assists.
42 goals, 62 assists this season, 104 points. You'd call that productivity, I think.
And in the playoffs, he's leading the Islanders with 15 points already. So you know that he's going to be right there. And that's one of the worries of Coach Scotty Bowman. How to contain. You're not going to stop him. You have to try to contain Trottier.
Loose against number 19 of the New York Islanders. It's dropped in. Trottier with the draw. The quick shot is kicked away by Edwards. It comes outside the line, and Lorimer has to hurry back against Ramsey. He turns to the other side. Ramsey steals it. Coming right in on goal with loose. He hit the side of the net. I don't know, but that hit the outside of the goalpost on that shot from close in. Well, the Sabres have come so very, very close so many times. But it's still 2-1 Islanders. Coming down Nystrom. He took a high shot up on the glass. Dudley couldn't move it out. Finally, it's cleared to Ramsey at center ice. Coming in with Luce and Dudley. Offside called at the New York blue line. Let's see if that didn't hit the post. I'm sure our expert cameramen have picked it up again.
Well, you'll never get a better opportunity than here. And where have all the defensemen gone? Look at this setup. 2-on-0. And that has to hit the goalpost. It does.
On the outside this time, and a ricocheted, as you saw, in back of the net.
Again, Bob, the Sabres continue to get those good scoring chances, and either Smith makes the save or The puck hits the goalpost. That's the 4th time already, and we've just got into the 2nd period.
Now Scotty Bowman has Mongrain with McClanahan and Ramsey as a unit up front, trying to shake it up and get some scoring for this Buffalo team. Richie Dunn back of the net, being watched by Merrick. Knocked it loose for Height. Height played it on the boards. McClanahan gets it up to the line, and there's Mongrain to center. Mongrain going up over the New York line, trying to barge in, and he was stopped by Merrick. Merrick takes over for New York, looks for a man and finds one. Langevin comes to the line at center ice and shoots one from there. Dunn touches it, and so icing is called against New York. Bob Cole along with Gary Dornhofer at the Auditorium in Buffalo. Game 1 of the semifinals, and the Islanders find themselves leading the Buffalo Sabres 2-1. Coming up to the 2-minute mark in this 2nd period. Merrick into the face-off circle, got the draw, put it in front of his own net, comes to the line. Dunn took a shot, that was blocked, and it hops down the ice. Merrick couldn't find it, but here's Bourne. Bourne lost it up the blue line. Langevin waits for his mates to get on side. He waited long enough, played it well in on the boards. It comes to Merrick. Merrick gets set, played it back in front. Tonelli took a shot, nowhere near the net. And Ramsey goes after it for Buffalo. He starts out of the zone, up with Mongrain and McClanahan. They didn't get very far. And now Dunn at his own blue line. He's being hounded by Merrick. He gave him enough trouble so that Tonelli took it away from him. But now Ramsey goes in. Craig Ramsey, an easy save for Billy Smith on the short side. It's loose in the corner. Tonelli kicked it back of the net, scampers in after it. Mongrain stole it, got it in front, and McClanahan just failed to control it. Tonelli dropped it to Bossy, and his shot right on the mark. And Edwards stopped it, and 2 Sabres break out of the zone. Down to center is Ramsey, going in with McClanahan. On his backhand, he can't shoot it, and then he's bumped heavily by Lane. Smith going into the corner, and they get a whistle. No further play in the New York zone.
Well, the 5 goals that were scored in Philadelphia, they happened in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, which is another playoff record. And the North Stars have made a goaltender change. Gary Edwards is now in net. So I guess he's seen enough rubber for one game. Of course, Joe Meloche, he's handled the games in the playoffs up till now.
And they've hit the 3-minute mark here in Buffalo, where the Islanders lead the Sabres 2-1 in this 2nd period. Face off deep in the New York zone to the left of Billy Smith and his 2 goal posts. Have to say that the Buffalo Sabres have had so many chances. Hitting the post. Here's Gare. Around the net he goes. Gare always dangerous in close. Whipped it back in the net the other way for Smith, and he was stopped by Morrow. Couldn't move it out. Now it's cleared by Lane up along the left side. At center, Gillies. Gillies trying to break in, and he's knocked down by Playfair. In center ice. It's Smith losing it. It's dropped over on the right wing, and Sutter breaks in, took a shot, an easy shot on Edwards. He just stopped it and cleared it away. Then Gare backs up in his own zone. Hands it out to center to McKendry. Going in with Ramsey, and the hard shot is off the boards into the mesh, and it came loose quickly. Gillies couldn't move it. So Lane has to back up. Gare chases him around the net. The Sabres sending in 2 deep now. McKendry and Gare didn't stop the Islanders, though. Down to center. Tonelli going in. Goring made an extra move, and he was offside. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Auditorium in Buffalo. Bob Cole along with Gary Dornhofer at the Auditorium in Buffalo, where the Islanders are up by a goal and the Buffalo Sabres. 11:26 left in the 2nd period. It's still 4-3 in the 2nd down at Philadelphia, and the Flyers are leading in that one. We'll have the highlights from that game for you as they become available. Any further scoring, of course, you'll see it all. Trottier played it in for Nystrom. Nystrom couldn't get loose. They covered up on him quickly. Now Bourne hit Martin with that pass, and he tried to head down to Perron, who was in behind everybody. But it hopped over his stick. Nystrom had his man. Trottier hitting center. Had a good move down the right side as Schoenfeld had gone to the ice. He didn't know it. And now Bourne for New York. He made a good move outside the line. Fed it in for Nystrom, and he was covered. Dennis Potvin shoots it up along the boards. And Van Boxmeer gives it to Schoenfeld. Hitting center ice with the shot high off the glass. It bounces in back of the net. Here's Perreault bumping with Langevin. Comes off the boards again, and Nystrom leaves it there for Merrick. Skating away to center, going up over the line with Nystrom. Nystrom in back of the net, can't move it in front, took another swing at it and missed it. Now Merrick going back of the goal. Dunn took it away from him as they're near the halfway mark of the second period. Long pass went up over the boards near the New York bench, and the play is called.
Well, as we had said before, Scotty Bowman will change lines so many times and try to get a matchup. Al Arbour, since he has three lines that are playing so well coming off that Boston series, he doesn't want to disrupt his lines by trying to match Scotty Bowman since he has the last change. So he'll just keep going with his three lines, one right after the other, trying to get that good forechecking.
At this point in the hockey game, the Buffalo Sabres have outshot the New York Islanders 18-14. Mongrain comes to center for Buffalo against Merrick of the New York Islanders. Pass comes to the line. Langevin kept it in. A shot, hard shot by Persson. It bounces down in front. They score. The Islanders pick it up quickly, and Tonelli was there, and they open up a 2-goal lead. Gary, it's now New York 3 and the Buffalo Sabres 1, and this crowd is gone into a hush.
Well, the importance of those face-offs. The Islanders will gain control, and you'll see the shot from the point. Now, when that shot is directed at the net, it goes wide by Persson. Now, Edwards is off balance. He can't recover and get back in time and goes down. Look at, he's in a prone position. Had he been able to keep his balance, he probably would have stopped Tonelli.
Tonelli from Langevin and Merrick. The time, 9:56.
9:56, the time of that goal. Tonelli from Langevin and Merrick, and it gives the New York Islanders a 3-1 lead.
Well, it was Langevin that shot it and not Persson, but it was a good setup there, and Edwards just lost his balance on the original shot, even though it was going wide of the net, and was not able to recover. And who's jolly on the spot? But John Tonelli for his 5th playoff goal.
Well, I don't know. Persson took that shot from the blue line. I wouldn't be surprised if they change it a little later, Gary. Perreault goes to center ice for Buffalo. Down 2 goals, the Sabres team now to the New York Islanders. Drops back to Sealing. The shot by Van Boxmeer. Blocked by Billy Smith. Now Potvin spun around. He went sprawling. Tonelli got as far as center. Couldn't come up with it. And Lorimer goes in back of the net. On the boards, it went by Sealing. Tonelli gets a pass in through the middle to Merrick, and Bourne going in. Bourne with a shot. That's off the glove of Edwards. It bounces in back of the net. Hero tried to move it out. Comes back in front of Merrick, was covered in time, and Schoenfeld. Up to Perreault, going in with Martin. Martin breaking for the left side, and he's stopped by Lorimer. Sabres come in looking for it, but the Islanders are all back covering up. It's outside the line. Schoenfeld drops it back to Van Boxmeer, and he gives it back to him. Schoenfeld feeds it ahead. Perreault was covered. Tonelli breaks in on the left side for New York. He gets in back of the net. Tonelli trying to one-hand it out front, now holds it with his skate. Van Boxmeer falling along with him. The puck in the corner, they fight for it, and they get a whistle. Van Boxmeer and Tonelli, I don't know, they might come up swinging. They did some pushing, but they're down flat, and the linesmen are in quickly. Bob Cole and Gary Dornhofer at the Auditorium in Buffalo for Game 1 of this semifinal series. Islanders 3 over the Sabres 1 down in Philadelphia, and we'll be going there to show you highlights of that game too tonight. Flyers lead the North Stars 4-3 in a slugfest, at least for goals anyway. They're in the second period down there as we are here. Buffalo scored first, but the Islanders have come back 3 times now, and they're up front 3-1. Out over the line it comes, and it's Smith breaking in for Buffalo. Good move. Smith backhands it. He was in too far, couldn't quite hit the mark. At the line it stopped, but now cleared by Gordy Lane. by Gillies, though, down the ice. Coming back, Playfair, trying to get a stick near. Gillies steals it. He nearly centered it. But it's grabbed by McKendry. He couldn't move it out against Lane. Lane looks for it as he spun around. And then finally, it's fired back to the New York line. Smith missed it. Coming in is Goring. Goring for Gillies. The pass on his skates. He had to hurry his shot then. And an easy save for Don Edwards. Now Goring went in looking for it, but they get a whistle as 4 players jam in on the boards to the right of Don Edwards. And there's no further play. With 7:56 remaining in the second period, the New York Islanders 3 and the Buffalo Sabres 1.
Think that guy doesn't get a lot of room out there? Clark Gillies.
Is he tough or what?
He was the hardest guy I ever had to play against. You know, when he hit you, you knew you were hit and you had bruises all over your body. So that's why when he's out there, players tend to just stay away from him and not get him mad or angry. He reminds me a lot of Mahovlich.
Chico Resch was telling us this morning, Gary, remember about the tough series he's just come through with the Boston Bruins.
Yep. You're absolutely right, and I think that certainly helped the Islanders, you know, going through that physical series. But with Gillies, you know, if you let him sleep and don't bother him, he doesn't really play his game. He isn't that effective, but just throw a check or something into him and then watch out.
What you're telling me now, Gary, in the golden days of the Philadelphia Flyers, you started him going. You got him going if he hit you there.
No, I stayed away from him just like everybody else.
You're modest. I remember the days when Gary Dornhofer was one of the big muscle men of the Philadelphia Flyers, and we don't have to go back too far for that. And it's good to have you up here with us now, Gary. I bet it's good to be here, too. Safer, right?
Absolutely.
3-1, Islanders leading. Out across the line at center, Smith comes in for Buffalo. Nearly got through, and he was stopped by Stephen Persson, and he just feeds it back down the ice. Coming back, Mike Ramsey. That's Playfair. Long pass up by Bourne. Bourne moving in after it. Here he comes with Henning. Henning centered it. Nystrom was in front. Nystrom took a shot, and Edwards was covering, and now there's going to be a penalty. Just as soon as they touch it, here it comes. 12:44 this penalty. So again, Gary, the Buffalo Sabres have an opportunity on this power play. They must get it going this time.
Well, it's imperative they get back in this hockey game, and what better time than when you have that man advantage.
Let's see what happens, Gary, as it's led by Richard Martin, and he was stopped by Goring, who poked it back to center. The Sabres get back on side. Perreault drops it back for Dunn. Dunn comes to center, shoots it in on the boards. Coming in on this wing is Perreault, flipping it for Sealing. Sealing in the corner for Buffalo, getting it back. Craig Ramsey on a difficult angle, can't shoot it. He decides to try to draw a man and does. Now to Perreault near the line. The Islanders set up that box beautifully. Now Craig Ramsey coming in, another penalty coming, but this time I think it's going to be against the Buffalo Sabres. The goaltender, we didn't see it. In the crease, something happened. Now, Gary, you tell us a little bit about Billy Smith. I know he appears to be shaken up on this one, but they tell me that he is one of the toughest goaltenders in the league. If you move around his crease, he'll let you know you're not supposed to be there.
Well, Martin and Smith were both swinging the sticks. Actually, Rick Martin caught Smith with a stick, and he's going to be the only one getting the penalty, but he's a lot worse, or he was a lot worse years ago than he is now, and it seemed to affect his play. Anytime he started swinging that stick, then all of a sudden players started putting the puck by him. But now, you know, he doesn't bother with the guys in front. Doesn't swing it as much as he used to. All right, you talk about what happens. There you see Rick Martin trying to get away from the defenseman, and that one swing there clipped Billy Smith, or came close to him. If it didn't hit him, he put on a pretty good performance. In any event, Rick Martin, he's in the penalty box. That's a high sticking call, and that certainly takes care of the penalty.
It's even up now. 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the Islanders penalty.
See, there was a good case right there, Bob. There's no sense of Rick Martin being in front of the net as long as the shot isn't directed. He's just getting the stuffings knocked out of him, and he's no value there. Why not wait till the shot is directed at the net and then go in front?
Well, 6:33 left of the second period. The Islanders lead by 2 goals, and now they're 5 aside. Gare coming out for Buffalo, tipped it ahead to Perreault. Perreault tried to go in. Gare was knocked down. The fans trying to call that penalty, but none is coming. At the line, a long shot. Van Boxmeer hit Potvin. Merrick coming out with Tonelli down the wing. Tonelli hitting the line, cutting in front. He fell, and the Sabres will clear it. A 2-man break led by Gare and Perreault. Perreault going in, faking the shot, and he was forced away by Bob Lorimer, who played it beautifully. Now Tonelli takes over. Tonelli's pass to Merrick. He hits center ice. Carries on, threw it into the zone. Schoenfeld broke his stick trying to check him. Van Boxmeer around the net for Buffalo. Coming out. 24 seconds left in the New York penalty. The long rising shot off the glass behind Billy Smith. Right in front, it comes to Lane. He didn't know what to do with it. Just kicked it away quickly as he had his stick high in the air, and he just booted it away with his skate. 12 seconds left in the penalty to Lauren Henning of New York.
Well, the Sabres were very fortunate in this play. Watch Schoenfeld come around, and a little two-hander there. Actually broke his stick on the play. There was no call on that one, but that certainly could have been a slash possibility of a 2-minute penalty. You know, perhaps the Sabres are making too many little plays inside their blue line or inside the Islander blue line. Why not take a few shots? You notice a 2-on-1 there with Perreault and Gare, and they're trying to make that one extra little shift or that one extra little play instead of firing some shots.
Well, Ramsey seemed to me to be in a good position at one point and decided to pass it off. However, it's still 3-1 New York. And in 5 seconds, the Islanders will have the man advantage as Lane shoots it in. Now the New York penalty is over. So they're up in manpower. Ramsey coming out for Buffalo. Going to the line to center ice. Coming in is Loose. Loose cutting to the right side. Feeds it over on the other wing. Ramsey will tuck it back to Dunn, killing some seconds. 25 seconds left in Richard Martin's penalty. Loose coming in across the line, and Lane was there. Lane for New York. It's tipped to center ice. Buffalo just intercepting, shooting it back in, and now 8 seconds left in Martin's penalty. So that'll do it as Lane starts out. Martin gets ready to come back on to center. The Islanders play it in. Trottier couldn't reach it. It goes to Don Edwards. As Martin steps back on, the teams are at full strength. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Auditorium in Buffalo. Bob Cole with Gary Dornhofer at the Auditorium in Buffalo, where the New York Islanders are leading the Buffalo Sabres 3-1 in the second period at Philadelphia, where we will be going periodically during the evening for goals. It's still 4-3 for the Flyers, so they have settled down. Now they tell me that Minnesota has tied it down there, and we'll be going there to show you just how that was done. 4:30 left in the second period. Islanders lead by 2 goals, 3-1. Van Boxmeer back of the net, starting out for Buffalo on the left side. Perreault gaining speed. He's up over the line, dropping it back to Martin. Martin took a shot from a bad angle. Sealing has it. Back to Van Boxmeer. He lets it go. And Billy Smith, covering the angle beautifully, held onto it. Here it's 3-1. Islanders over the Sabres. 4:10 left in the second period. That's Lorimer playing it out to the line. Smith knocked it down, and Potvin takes over back of the net. Gare chases him. Play comes off to Bourne. He feeds it over to Nystrom and went behind him. Nystrom to Trottier going in. He's dangerous. In front of the net it comes, and Edwards knocked it away with his stick. Now Gare down the right wing boards for Buffalo. The long pass in, a good one for McKendry. His shot, the skate save by Billy Smith. At the line, Ramsey took a drive. Right in front, it's loose. It hopped away from Gare, but he sets up Ramsey, and he skimmed the shot along the ice and just missed the far corner. Trottier going in for New York. Tried to knock it loose, and he did. Here's Bossy. Bossy feeds it over in front. He tried to hit Tonelli, but it was broken up, and Gare overskates it at center. Smith shooting one in for Buffalo. with 3:10 left to play in the second period. The Islanders coasting down now with that 2-goal lead. The long shot played in on Edwards. Back for Van Boxmeer. Look at him go. Van Boxmeer gets up near the line with Perreault, and around a man he goes. Cuts in around the net, centered it. Back to the line of Sealing. He didn't shoot it, played it off to the corner. And it's Ken Morrow for New York. Coming back out. Down for Tonelli, too far. That could be icing. It is. I don't know why they don't shoot a little more often, as you said earlier, Gary.
Again, it's that one play, that one too many. Van Boxmeer, of course, he's had 2 excellent long drives that have hit the post. He came over in that trade for from Colorado for Rennie Robert, a favorite here. What an acquisition he has been.
I talked to him at length this morning. I talked about the layoff. John, how does it feel? 10 days, nothing to do but practice. He said, you know, we've stayed in shape, we've had scrimmages and so on and so forth, but say what you want, it gets boring. You miss the pressure, you miss being in that cooker, you miss being belted around as you are in a game such as this, and it's tough. That's the toughest part of it.
Well, the game has certainly picked up in tempo in the second period. And right now, it's the Islanders with their aggressive play along the boards in the corner. That's why they're ahead right now, 3-1. And of course, the missed chances by the Sabres, and they have certainly had plenty of them. But I agree, Bob. They've got to start shooting the puck a little more, and instead of all these fancy little plays, because every pass that you make may result in a miscue.
2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the second period. Islanders 3 and the Buffalo Sabres 1. Here's a shot right on. It comes back to the line. Goring backhands it in around the net, and the Sabres come right out of the zone. It's Dunn breaking it over the line. Dunn tried to play it back in front. He was covered by Lane, and then Morrow took over. He held it, fed it up against the boards, and the Islanders just shoot it down to center ice. A minute and 55 seconds left in the second period. Islanders 3 and the Sabres 1. Now Gillies trapped one at the blue line, keeping it in. In front it goes. The shot by Nystrom didn't come off. He fanned on it more or less. And the Sabres get it up to center ice. Here again is Persson for Goring. Goring shoots it in for New York. They come in looking for it with 1.5 minutes left in the period. Richie Dunn. The pass over on this wing goes off the boards and down the ice. And Langevin just feeds it back to center. They throw it back and forth now. A long shot. Billy Smith, easy save. Langevin ahead to Bossy. On the right side, he's bumped hard by Schoenfeld and knocked flying. And here's Perreault. Speaking of flying, going in. Perreault. Oh, he hit the side of the net with Billy Smith covering up, holding the post. Another shot. What a grab by Billy Smith. I can't believe it. He was falling, going the other way. The puck looked harmless enough. It was deflected, though. Watch closely now, and you'll see. And that great reflex action that he displays to his left side. Unbelievable how he got the glove on it and held it.
Well, that's something that Billy Smith has been doing. And, you know, that's the concentration. You never know what's going to happen. A harmless-looking shot changes direction. Now, how about that?
Sports fans, I'll tell you, that was almost in. And he just somehow went springing back, diving for it. Gary, unbelievable goaltending.
You ever play shortstop for a major league team?
Billy Smith of the New York Islanders. They told us coming into the series that he was hot, and I will believe him. Who wouldn't? Great play. And with just 50 seconds left in this period, that would have been a tremendous goal for Buffalo. Let's see if they can do something else. Perreault is going again. Here's Perreault dropping it. Martin took a shot, and Billy Smith, the stick save. 40 seconds left in the period. It's lobbed down the ice. Doesn't make the goal line, so no icing. Schoenfeld belted right away by Wayne Merrick. Van Boxmeer up on the left side. Howatt had him covered. Howatt gets loose with Merrick. Merrick trying to come up with a play from the boards, but they hold it there, and they get a whistle with 19 seconds left in this period. And the Islanders looks as if they're going to hang on to that at least 2-goal lead and take it in for the start of the third. And that's a big lead going into the final 20 minutes in this type of hockey.
Well, it certainly is, and we got a very important face-off coming up right now, and I'm sure Scotty Bowman will play one of his best face-off man. That's the last thing you want to do, is get a goal scored against you in the last minute of play. And Derek Smith certainly handles himself so well in that face-off zone. And you know, it's up to your center iceman to set the rest of your players where he wants you, and he doesn't go into that situation until everybody's absolutely ready.
Merrick is against Smith. And Merrick got the draw at the line. Lorimer shot, and that was just wide on the short side. 14 seconds left in the period. It comes to center. Coming back again. Lorimer feeds it in off the boards, and 7 seconds left. It's cleared high on the glass and over the glass into the crowd at the far side. That'll do it now, Gary. Just 2 seconds left on the clock. And the Islanders have that 2-goal lead. It'll be a formality now. They'll drop it and cover up as best they can.
You know, Bob, it never fails. As soon as I say what a good face-off guy he is, he loses the draw.
Well, he is. He has been just super taking face-offs. But Wayne Merrick,
I like that guy right there. What a lot of spunk he has. Had many a battle with Gary Howatt. Doesn't have an abundance of talent, but boy, does he have a lot of heart. He goes out there and he works.
ready to drop it in, just inside the line. Merrick again with the draw. It's cleared to center, and the horn goes to end the second period. And the New York Islanders add to their first period lead by scoring in net frame and just hanging on and checking the Buffalo Sabres into the ice. And so the score at the end of two periods is the New York Islanders 3 and the Buffalo Sabres 1.
Billy Smith, of course, he's taken over from Chico Resch in the first game of the playoffs, and he has been in there ever since. The Sabres, of course, two fine goaltenders in Edwards and Sauvé. They do alternate, and they continue to do so until one really bombs out, which hasn't been the case.
Right away, the Sabres slap it in. Van Boxmeer slapped it from his own side of center ice, and of course, icing is called against Buffalo.
But you know, you look at these two goaltenders, they are similar in style. They are angled goaltenders. They come out to challenge the shooters. Both Smith and Edwards, very capable. They've been around. They've got that experience going for them. But so far tonight, it's been Billy Smith as we look at him with the hot hand.
Now Trottier goes to center for the New York Islanders against Perreault, and he gets the draw, but Van Boxmeer again hammers one on the boards. It comes to Martin, and Martin is offside. I thought that ticked somebody near center ice, but obviously it didn't. And the officials a lot closer to the play than we are, let me tell you, here in Buffalo. I think, Gary, this is probably the highest vantage point of any broadcast booth in the National Hockey League.
You know, I'm surprised the people have been relatively quiet. Of course, the home team is behind, but they're not really making the amount of noise that I thought they would tonight to get these Sabres going.
On the boards, it's played by Nystrom. Back of the net again, Van Boxmeer. Starting away, his pass to the line didn't work. It's obvious that the Sabres are trying to headman it to somebody free. Outside, the two forechecking Islanders this time. Perreault comes in across the line. He tried to move the other way, but he was stopped in his tracks by Potvin, the veteran. Islanders keep it in near the line. It's stopped by the Sabres, and Schoenfeld played it back of the net. It came out to hit the skate of Perreault. Now there's Perreault on the other side. He's stopped again, and Billy Smith holds it against the mesh with his stick as Perreault and Martin get in close. And again, they're not taking any chances. The Islanders come back to protect the goaltender. Nothing develops. There's Perreault.
Well, he is the key of the Sabres attack. Whenever he's on the ice, you just watch when he carries the puck, how the defensemen seem to back in. Always gives up that zone. You know, not too often will they challenge him at the blue line. And this is so very important, the way the game is played today, is to get a hold of that zone and then set up the plays. Perreault, he can do that. Trottier, he does it for the Islanders, along with Goring.
Smith, Gare, and McKendry for the Buffalo Sabres. Mike Ramsey, and to play fair on the defense. The face-off to the left of Billy Smith. They didn't do it fairly. Didn't drop it in, actually. Gerard Gauthier, the linesman. And he calls McKendry in. Sends Smith out. Here it is. It comes right away to Gare. His shot was deflected by Bourne, who takes over for New York. Back of the net. He's trapped back there. Now Gare got it loose. Gare tried to push it in front. It was stopped by a skate. McKendry rooting after it, but nobody can get it loose. And they're playing at close quarters now, I'll tell you. The fans here in the Auditorium in Buffalo now getting a little restless. They want some scoring action. But the Islanders break out of the zone again. Trottier, the pass, didn't work. And Gare feeds it ahead for Smith. He can't hang on to it. McKendry missed it. Now here's Mike Ramsey playing it off to the far corner. Gillies winding up in his own zone. He gives it to Morrow. The pass goes to Sutter, down to Gillies, too far. And again, Playfair was there to clear it on the boards. A minute and a half gone in the third period. The Islanders still lead it by 2 goals. It's 3-1. And Smith drops it back in his own zone. Playfair looking for room down the right wing. Gets up near the line and shoots it in. Back of the net, Billy Smith stopping it. And it's cleared out to Sutter up the line. Coming down is Goring at center. Goring dropping it for Sutter. Sutter is covered, can't shoot it. And Height takes it for the Buffalo Sabres. Here he comes. The pass intended for McKendry didn't work. And McKendry then, when he caught up to it, got rid of it. Langevin at his own line now, cleared. And it comes to Merrick at center, feeds it ahead to Bossy. Merrick again. He's stopped outside the line. Persson turning at center for New York. Calmly sends it back into the Buffalo zone. And then Richie Dunn tried to move it out and couldn't. Persson did not keep it in. Slapped at it. Merrick was offside. Height will have an opportunity, but he went back deep. And so they call the play offside against New York.
Well, the Sabres have suddenly stopped skating. They have thrown the puck into the zone a couple of times, and all they're doing is giving it back to the Islanders. They're not moving. Of course, the Islanders, they're content when they get possession, just dump it in and have the wings pick up the wings. They always have 4 men coming back. They don't want to give the Sabres an opportunity to get a 3-on-1 or 3-on-2 break.
Schoenfeld for Buffalo. Cautious near his own blue line, but he lost it on that pass. Then it was cleared by Tonelli, but not across the line. A second attempt gets it in. Van Boxmeer swings around the net. A good play comes out to Mongrain. Mongrain goes to center. Tries to carry on. It was stopped near the line, but Clanahan couldn't carry in. And the Islanders break back down to center ice. Langevin's shot is high and wide. Merrick in after it. Back of the net it goes. Schoenfeld for Buffalo. Hitting Mongrain near the line to center. In on the wing comes Perreault, back to Mongrain. His shot is blocked, and it's cleared into the corner. Mongrain. Perreault comes in front. He was stopped. Perreault again, dropping it back to Schoenfeld. The rebound, and it's cleared away by Merrick. Down to Bossy. Bossy in with a shot, and that was blocked by Edwards. Another shot. Bossy near the side of the net, and Edwards goes down and hangs on for the faceoff.
Well, there is an outstanding play by Edwards. You know, we were talking about how they were challenging.
Tonight's game is coming to you from the Auditorium in Buffalo.
Well, something that Edwards does so well, he comes out, takes the angle away. Look at that, he's out there about 20 feet. Not much to shoot at, and it looked like he was slightly shaken up on that Bossy drive.
From the face-off in the Buffalo zone, the Islanders in possession again, winning the draw. Trottier centered it in the crease. Edwards knocked it away, and here's Dudley coming out. He's hitting center, going up across the line, dropping it for Ramsey. Into Dunn, loose, back of the net. Dudley upended, went flying into the boards, and I think he's hurt himself. Dudley getting up slowly back there, and now the play is called with Sutter breaking in for the net. There's Dudley down to our left. And he had difficulty, let me tell you, Gary. He lost his stick. He was upended, went flying into the boards, and you could tell immediately he had injured himself. But gamely, he tried to get up and get off the ice and couldn't quite make it.
Well, he flew right into the boards. I don't know if it's his knee, Bob, but he did hit the end boards with a lot of velocity. Frank Christie, trainer, is out there right now, and he's back on his feet. All right, let's have a look at Dudley. There he loses his balance and flies into the boards, and actually his right foot, his right skate took the brunt of that that hit into the boards, and you know, when you have nothing to cushion, you know how hard those boards are. Not much give, especially at the bottom.
I'll bet you. But I'll tell you, he's staying on there. He's not leaving. Now he's starting over toward the bench. He just moved around a little bit, and he's going off. But I think he's okay. Mike Ramsey goes back of the net for Buffalo. Islanders 3. Buffalo Sabres 1. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the third period. And here comes Sealing going in with Ramsey. Great Ramsey into the corner, still after it. It comes loose for down loose. And he couldn't get a shot on the net from that angle. Loose again, gets it near the line, and Sutter broke it up with Gillies. In for Sutter. Sutter breaking for the net on a sharp angle. Feeds it in front and loose intercepted. Sealing trying to move it out of the zone for Buffalo. He can't do it on the first try. He does on the second, but it goes too far down the ice. Ken Morrow touching it for the New York Islanders, and the Sabres are called for icing. We might tell you they're in the third period at Philadelphia, and the amazing North Stars are leading the Philadelphia Flyers 5-4. And any further scoring, of course, we'll be going down there to show you those scoring highlights from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Here it's 3-1, New York.
Well, the Islanders continue to forecheck well and also pinch in those defensemen. And what that means when the Sabres have their wingers so high, what they have to do is get them in a little deeper. The hash marks there, the face-off circle, then a defenseman can't pinch in on them. They're having a little problem coming out along the boards. They're having an easy time of it up the middle, but not along the boards.
Hero with Martin to his left. The draw goes to the line. Lane took a shot. It hit a leg, and Sealing gets away with Martin. Martin breaking in front, right in the slot. Shoot! Oh, a beautiful save by Billy Smith on Martin. Back for Sutter now. He's on a solo job. Nobody with him. Sutter breaking for the net. He centered it, and Van Boxmeer takes him in on the boards. Schoenfeld ahead to Perreault. Perreault sliced one down the ice, and it stopped inside the line. Action picking up again now as the Sabres come to life. But Nystrom right back in for New York. Schoenfeld all over him. It goes back of the net. Trottier going in after Sealing and gives him a ride on the boards. Van Boxmeer can't get it loose, and they call it for a face-off. Well, Gary, I think I've seen enough. This Billy Smith has shown me that I don't know if our friend Chico Resch is going to get back into the series.
That was the save of the night right there. This next goal is going to be so important as time runs out.
14:33 remaining in regulation time. Islanders lead it 3-1. Sealing on the boards. Bourne trapped him right away. It comes loose to the line. Potvin couldn't shoot it, and covering up is Bob Lorimer. He played it ahead. There's Potvin stopping it near the blue line. Picks his way through center. Potvin finds a hole, going in for the shot, and Edwards made a good glove save on that shot by Potvin. Two Sabres break in. One man back. Smith gets the play right back in front, and it went by him under his stick. McKendry hammered on the boards, can't move on it. And Gare, who fed that pass, holds it along with Potvin, and there's no further play.
Well, there's a good indication right there. Gare, you know, he scored 56 goals because he shot the puck. He wanted to make that extra pass, and it went astray. He was at the top of the circle, a perfect position to shoot at. Why not fire it?
Tell you, Gary, he fooled me completely. I thought he was about to let it go, but he didn't. He fed it back.
Well, he has such a good wrist shot, a snapshot, and he knows where it's going. It's low, usually on the corners. And by golly, when you get an opportunity like that, let him go. Then that second man can go for the net.
Well, the fans, as you can hear in the background, chanting. They're trying now to get some scoring from their Sabres. Morrow goes back of the net. Left it in the corner. Martin racing it after it. He centered it. It hit a skate. It's Sealing taking a shot and was blocked. Van Boxmeer near the line, keeping it in. There's Martin back of the net. Great pressure now by Buffalo. Sealing again. Gets it back to Schoenfeld. And the shot is low and wide. Now it's centered. It went off his skate. Away from Martin. And the Islanders regroup. Get their composure and get it up to center ice again. But the Sabres lay it on. Here's Perreault stealing it with Martin. They come back in. Martin is bodied off the puck, and it's cleared off the boards into the center ice area. Merrick finding Tonelli down the left side. He took a weak shot. Nystrom has it now, centered it. And here's Martin. Over for Dudley. As you can see, he's okay after that minor injury. Up to Martin. In over the line, he dropped it on the right side, and Van Boxmeer is after it. Centered it, and Nystrom speeds out. One man back, he's coming in with Tonelli. And Nystrom shooting a high one, rising over the glass into the crowd.
That mug.
At the Auditorium in Buffalo, this is Bob Cole with Gary Dornhofer, and the fans are really chanting now. Listen to them.
And players certainly respond to that yelling and screaming. They get the adrenaline going.
Well, they didn't drop that one in fairly. They'll have to do it again. It's deep in the New York zone, as you can see, and the Sabres, Gary, have come to life for the last few minutes in this part of the third period. 12:18 remaining in regulation time. Islanders lead by 2 goals. Buffalo, though, coming on strong. Gillies trying to move it out. Get some help from Goring. It's back inside the line. Langevin on this side for Persson, ahead to Bossy. Bossy is stopped. Now Smith turning at center ice for Buffalo. Couldn't get away from Gillies. And Gillies just left it at his own line. Langevin across center. Shooting a high one in. Knocked down by Playfair. And he just shoots it down the ice. Going all the way. Icing called against Buffalo. Well, low scoring series. How are you? About 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in that game. And it's 6-5. Minnesota on top. Here at the Auditorium in Buffalo. It's 3-1. Islanders. Van Boxmeer back to the net for the Buffalo Sabres. Perreault didn't know he had it. Gives it back to the big defenseman, and here he comes. John Van Boxmeer up to center ice. Van Boxmeer near the line. Shoots it off to the corner, and Gillies is the first one back. Perreault tried to take it from him. Martin went in to help. In the corner, that's Lorimer fighting for it. It comes to Nystrom. Nystrom couldn't move it out. In front of the net again, Lorimer spinning around to Nystrom a second time. Out across the line at center, Nystrom shoots it into the Buffalo zone. 11 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third period of this game. Martin back in his own zone to Perreault. Islanders send 2 in deep, and you can see the trouble Sabres are having against that forechecking. Martin has to go back deep again. In the corner, he leaves it there. Van Boxmeer will bring it out, though. Down with Perreault, a good pass. Perreault up across the line. On the boards, it goes to Sealing. Sealing gets it back to Perreault, and a shot knocked down to Martin. And Martin couldn't knock it in by Billy Smith, who had fallen. Close call. At center ice, Schoenfeld again. Sabres keep coming at the Islanders. They want another goal to make it close, and then we'll see what'll happen. It's Van Boxmeer breaking in. He's stopped on the play. Right out in front it comes, Van Boxmeer. Another shot. Down goes Billy Smith, and he stopped that one off Derek Smith of Buffalo from 15 feet. Islanders get to center. Here's Howatt bringing it in with Trottier. He took a weak shot, kicked away by Edwards, and it's grabbed by Sealing. A pass comes to Derek Smith. Here he comes, in with Martin, and the shot is blocked. Derek Smith and Martin. Martin couldn't get it. Morrow knocked it away from him. Now it's Gord Lane. Ahead to Nystrom. Can't get out. Gord Lane goes back in the net. The Sabres are fighting for their lives. It's centered right to the crease. And it's stopped by Billy Smith and cleared into the corner again. Howatt trying to tear it down the ice. He does. Trottier racing after it. He tried to break in front. The Islanders now changing as the play is allowed to continue. And the Sabres shoot it to center, but Gordy Lane rolled it back and over the line. Here's Richie Dunn. Feeds a pass down the ice. That'll go too far. It'll be icing against the Buffalo Sabres. Stanley Cabady will continue in a moment. This is Bob Cole along with Gary Dornhofer at the Auditorium in Buffalo in Game 1 of the semifinal series. The Islanders 3 and the Sabres 1. In Philadelphia, it's 6-5. The North Stars on top of the Flyers, and they too are in the third period. We'll be showing you scoring highlights, of course, as we have been doing throughout this game from Philadelphia. Here in Buffalo, the Sabres trying to get it going. Dudley racing out of the zone, gets to center. Dudley up across the line, dropped it back near the line, and Perreault speeds in. Perreault watched by Sutter. It comes in front of Dudley, but he couldn't capitalize. And back to center for Tonelli. He played it in to Sutter. Into the corner to Tonelli. He scores! Tonelli beautifully in front of the net, set up, and he hit the low left-hand side. And Gary, when it's 4-1 this late in the game, that could be it for the Buffalo Sabres in game one.
That may just do it, but real good passing play. The Sabres, they were caught here. Man in the open, nobody picks them up. You notice before Sutter had a little eye to see who was coming. Tonelli, there he is, left all alone. And boy, has he taken charge for this Islander team. A little snapshot in the far corner. That was his 6th playoff goal, and he's taken over from the injured Keller. And boy, has he been an addition.
That scoring play, Tonelli from Sutter at 11 minutes and 10 seconds of this third period. And it's now the New York Islanders 4 and the Buffalo Sabres 1. I've got a little message for the Sabres and the Philadelphia Flyers, who are both trailing in this first game now. In 11 of the 12 series so far this year in Stanley Cup play, Gary, the team that won the first game won the series. Do you believe in that stuff?
Well, it's not over by a long shot, but the Islanders certainly heading in the right direction. And yet they've given up so many scoring chances in their own zone.
Gillies played it ahead. He nearly set up another one for Butch Goring. He was in behind everyone. But Schoenfeld, the only one back, picks it up and leaves it back at the net. Van Boxmeer spinning around. Bossy coming in to watch him. The pass to the right side. Islanders forechecking again, but here comes Van Boxmeer out of the zone. Coming in is McKendry, offside. McKendry tried to bring it in. He missed it actually at the blue line, and Van Boxmeer was speeding in on the right side, and he was offside. He's played a good game.
Well, the goal that really did the Sabres in tonight has to be this one. Sutter there, he took a little peek. You notice 2 Sabres going in at 1 man, and that left Tonelli all by himself. All it takes is 1 man to check another. You see your partner going in, what you have to do is look around for the open man. Sabres failed to do this.
Smith for Buffalo. Shooting it into the New York zone. Back to the net, that's Gordy Lane for Gillies. Up to the line, and Goring was stopped. Lane will try it again. McKendry watched him. He got it across the line. Gillies couldn't move it. Again, Gordy Lane. This time McKendry took it away from him. Gare fell to the ice. And Clark Gillies, a long pass down into the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld is back. Islanders 4, the Sabres 1. Nearing the 13-minute mark of the third period. The Buffalo Sabres are changing now as the play goes in behind the New York net. It's knocked down in front by Potvin, but Trottier was there to clear it for Bossy. Bossy up near the line. He has to wait now for Bourne to come back on side. He had gone in. Lorimer from center lifts a high one in. It bounces in front, and Edwards stops it for height. Now with 7 minutes remaining in the third period, Martin is winding up in his own zone. Got it away from Trottier on the boards, but Bourne was there first. For Lorimer. Lorimer at center, shooting it in. And the Sabres running out of time. Bill Height back of the net. Height coming out. The pass on the boards to center to Martin. Martin tucks it in behind the defenseman, but Billy Smith was alert. He came out and cleared it away. Trottier comes back to center, going in with Nystrom behind him. He nearly got in by everyone. Playfair stopped him. Now Nystrom has it. Nystrom on the boards, pinned there by Richie Dunn. McClanahan turns on that far side and just shoots it down the ice. New York Islanders leading by 3 goals now in this third period with 6:15 remaining. Coming in is Tonelli again. In back of the net he goes. He's slammed on the boards. Hard check. Tonelli again out front. Oh, and a good save by Edwards. Back for the Sabres. Dudley going in with Loose. Don Loose breaks for the net. Centered one. And it went by in front of Billy Smith harmlessly. Now Dudley slapped at it. And 3 Islanders break out of the zone. Led by Sutter. Up over the line with Merrick. Couldn't pass it back, so he put it in on the net. And Edwards had little difficulty hanging on to that one.
Well, when somebody does a lot of damage to you, you'd like to certainly get even. Play fair, pretty big fellow. Here's the way to take a man out. Rides him, poor Tonelli. You could see the boards, the glass, everything shake on that one. But Tonelli, he got up right away and ready to play.
We have, Gary, 5:45 left of the third period.
And you know, there's less than 4 minutes left to go in Philadelphia.
Here's Tonelli trying to pass it back. He was stopped by Don Luce. Dudley went after him. Tonelli staying with it. Merrick in to help him now. Merrick holding it with a skate. They'll likely get another whistle this time. There's the whistle. They call the play. Live from the Auditorium in Buffalo, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Bob Cole and Gary Dornhofer in game one of this semifinal series at the Auditorium in Buffalo, where the Islanders are up by 3 goals here in the third period, 4-1. With 5.5 minutes left in the third period, it's cleared right in. Billy Smith knocked it away. Morrow feeds it out in front of the line. And it's Bossy coming across center. Bossy breaking in, centered it, and he nearly hit Goring with that pass, with Goring coming in on the right wing, just out of his reach. Schoenfeld, a long shot in on the boards. Sealing brings it in close, took a high shot. Smith stopped that, and Gillies is on it right away for New York. Stick handles out of the zone, away from Richard Martin. Now to Bossy. Bossy, a nice head fake. Then the Sabres grab it, led by Martin. The pass to the line. Sealing on the other wing. Van Boxmeer, the defenseman, rushing once again. Van Boxmeer slapped it over on this side. Off the corner. It's down across center again, and Nystrom missed it. Martin from center ice shoots one in with 4.5 minutes remaining in the third period. That's Gordy Lane starting out. His pass goes on the boards. It'll go for icing. If it hits that line, it does not. So icing not called. Play continues. It comes to the line. Smith dropping back inside his own blue line. Coming up to center. He goes in. Smith making great moves. Now he's pulled around. And yes, there's going to be a New York penalty. Here's Van Boxmeer taking a shot up high on the glass. And now it's called. Okay, that's the final down there now. Great excitement, and here, time running out. It's still Islanders 4 and the Buffalo Sabres 1 here at the Auditorium in Buffalo. You see now the New York Islanders with a man advantage as Van Boxmeer is off for tripping. He has 25 seconds left in his penalty. It's 4-1, the New York Islanders. Winding up this game, Gary Dornhofer, just 27 seconds left in the third period. You'd have to say they had a good game plan, took advantage of the breaks, and certainly they did get some early breaks, and they have come through.
Well, the building is almost empty here. A few thousand people still waiting to the end, but it was capitalization on your chances. The Sabres weren't able to do that, and we look back to that 5-minute major penalty when the Islanders ended up scoring the only goal. That certainly hurt. And just back to the drawing board and get ready for the next one. That's about all the Sabres can do right now.
Only scoring here in the third period, John Tonelli from Sutter at 11:10, the 4th New York Islanders goal. The Sabres scored the first of the hockey game, Rick Dudley, from Ramsey at 5:23 of the opening period. But it's been all New York since. As Gary just mentioned, the Bob Bourne unassisted goal, while shorthanded. Then Bossy picking up a loose pass from height inside the line. Then Tonelli, his 2 goals. Second here in the third. 7 seconds left. The countdown started on the island in New York. No question about that. Islanders 4, the Sabres 1. In game 1 of this semifinal series, Billy Smith, a standout in goal, made some big saves. He had some breaks, yes, but he did come up with some big saves in the net for the Islanders tonight. And they got enough action up front from people like Tonelli, Bourne, and of course, Mike Bossy.
Well, Scotty Bowman would become the NHL's winningest coach in playoff history during the Sabres' quarterfinal win against Chicago. This series belonged to Al Arbour and the Islanders. For the second series in a row, they opened on the road and won. They'd win the next game in Buffalo as well and had a 3-0 series lead before Buffalo could win 2 in a row. The Islanders would win the series in 6 and go on to beat the Flyers to win the first of 4 straight Stanley Cup championships. Thanks for watching Vintage Games here on the NHL Network. We'll see you again next time.
Monday. If you like great